If you're going somewhere for the Christmas weekend,
I
you're
was.
probably going to have some very tough going.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. Meteorologist Byron Miranda has been warning us for days that there's going to be some heavy rain. You just heard him say it's going to get cold and maybe some snow in the area.
Yeah, we'll be talking all morning with experts who know travel, and we'll start on the roads with Mr. Robert Sinclair of AAA Northeast. Always a pleasure. Welcome. All right,
Thank you.
Robert,
Thank you. Thank you.
what's your advice for people who are driving on our area roads this weekend?
Oh boy, the cold weather really worries me because nationwide we're anticipating 898,000 breakdowns
Wow.
during the holiday travel period, flat tires and dead batteries. And it's the dead batteries that are going to cause problems. Your battery loses power as it gets colder. It loses 30% of its power when the temperature is near freezing. It loses 60% of its power when the temperature gets down near zero. So your vehicle might not start in these very cold temperatures. So it's very important to have that battery checked before you hit the road. Pump up the tires, make sure they're properly inflated before you get on the road. And a breakdown is inconvenient, certainly, but can also be very dangerous. Being broken down by the side of the road with vehicles speeding by is very dangerous. We lose a first responder roughly every 6 or 7 days
Oh,
somewhere in the
geez.
United States when they are struck and injured and killed while assisting a broken down motorist. So
Wow.
don't let yourself get in that situation.
Oh, definitely. Well, you talked about the number of breakdowns, but how many people are you expected to hit the road this weekend at all?
102 million, 90%
Wow.
of all those who will be traveling will be driving to their destinations. And that's up about 3% compared to last year. It's always the number one form of transportation for a holiday or a vacation is driving. You have the freedom to leave when you want. You'll have transportation when you get to your destination, and you can come back when you want. And perhaps that flexibility will allow you to postpone your trip until the bad weather goes by.
Yeah, I guess the people who are going on short trips have it a little better, especially on Christmas Day. That's actually a better day to drive if people can wait that long, right?
Absolutely. Traveling on the holidays themselves, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, early in the day is probably going to be your best bet. But just about every day during the holiday travel period, from Friday the 23rd through Monday the 2nd, is going to be busy. The earlier in the day, the better. It will be particularly busy on the 23rd, the 27th, the 28th, and January 2nd. So keep that in mind. Busiest times between 4 and 8 p.m. If you can travel outside of those hours, you'll do yourself a big favor.
But driving on Christmas Day, which happens to be a Sunday also, does that make any bit of a difference? Better
A
this
little bit.
weekend?
Generally, we're at our destinations on the holidays themselves, so it makes it a little easier to drive on that holiday. But I would recommend, no matter what day it is, that you get that early start. Get out on the road before 6 or 7 or 8 a.m., and there'll be a lot less traffic, and you can make your way a little bit more efficiently.
All right. Okay, let's brighten the mood a little bit. On the positive
Okay.
side, gas prices. Where do we stand?
Gas prices, we're at New York City, 3.55 per gallon. We're actually cheaper now than where we were last year. And of course, we're well below the $5 and change peak that we hit during the summer. So that's good, but we're still at $3 a gallon across the board in the tri-state area. And I think back to a survey we did in 2018 during a better economy when 40% of drivers said $3 a gallon was the pain point, that they'd have to cut back on eating out, drive less, or put off making a major purchase to be able to afford gasoline at $3 a gallon. So I worry that there's still a significant portion of the population that's suffering despite
Yeah.
gasoline prices being much lower. But, we're going to throw caution to the wind and bite the bullet and take a trip, no matter what it might cost for the holidays.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, a lot of people
yeah.
investing in gas at the pump, but what else should they be investing in as they prepare to drive this weekend? What are some of the things that we should have in an emergency kit, especially with the
Oh,
crazy weather we're getting this weekend?
Yeah.
yeah, an emergency kit should have a flashlight, jumper cables, some basic tools, shovel, sand, non-clumping kitty litter, blankets, food, and water. But probably the most important item is to have a charged cell phone. so that you can call for help in case something happens. But please give the vehicle maintenance before you hit the road so you won't need those items. I would hate for anyone to get broken down. It puts a real damper on the holiday.
And listen, just quickly, the cold weather, you mentioned it earlier, we got to check the inflation on your tires. I mean, this cold weather wreaks havoc on that.
Tires lose about 1 psi, 1 pound per square inch of pressure for every 10 degrees that the temperature goes down. So a lot of people are driving around on underinflated tires. That's only going to get worse as it gets colder. So if you don't do anything, please check your tire pressure before you get out on the road.
All right, Robert. Robert Sinclair of AAA, always great to have you on the air. Have a wonderful holiday and safe travels wherever you may be headed as well.
Thank you. All the best to you and your family, and everyone, please be safe.
All right. Happy holiday, Robert. Thank you so much.
Thank you.